Let's explore the first component of the results framework, the role. Role assignment is the foundation of structured prompting. It tells the model who to become before it generates the response. Without a clear role, the model defaults to a generic assistant, which usually leads to generic results. When you assign the right expertise, the tone, style, and depth of the output change instantly. A prompt written for a marketing strategist will produce something very different from a prompt written for a customer support manager, a project coordinator, or a leadership coach. The role determines the lens through which the model interprets your instructions. Let's talk about selecting the right expertise. Your goal is to choose a role that naturally aligns with the task. If you want a sales email, assign a senior sales copywriter. If you want a workflow, assign an operations expert. If you want curriculum content, assign an instructional designer. The model draws from the patterns of those professional disciplines. So the more aligned the role is, the more aligned the results will be. Next, let's talk about tone, style, and perspective. The role determines how formal or casual the model will be, whether it uses data, stories, frameworks, or persuasive language, and even how it frames the problem. For example, a therapist role responds with empathy. A lawyer role focuses on precision and risk. A consultant role focuses on strategy and clarity. A coach role focuses on motivation and forward movement. The same prompt can produce completely different outputs simply because the role changes. Now let's distinguish between personas and professional roles. Personas are imaginative or character-based. They are useful for creative writing, brand voice development, or storytelling. Professional roles are grounded in expertise. They are practical, industry-aligned, and reliable for business tasks. As a certified prompt engineering professional, you will rely primarily on professional roles. Personas are optional, roles are essential. So why does role assignment dramatically change output? Because AI is a pattern-based system. When you tell it to act as an expert, it pulls from the patterns of expert communication, structure, tone, problem-solving methods, and typical deliverables. Role assignment gives the model an identity, and identity guides behavior. This is why we always start with our role before we do anything else. Now, let's move into practice. For this exercise, you will generate 3 versions of the same deliverable using 3 different roles. Choose a simple task, such as writing a short explanation of a concept, drafting an email, or outlining a plan. Run the same instruction, but change the role each time. For example, act as a professional copywriter, act as a customer experience manager, act as a productivity coach. As you compare the outputs, notice how the tone shifts, how the priorities change, and how the overall structure adapts. This is the moment where you will see just how powerful role assignment really is. By the end of this activity, you should feel confident choosing strong roles, adjusting them based on the task, and using them to guide the model's voice and expertise.